What's going on, guys? Chaos here, bringing you another video, and today we have got another video on this DLC map packs. In case none of you were aware, the DLC map pack 2 Eclipse came out recently, and of course I'm going to be covering all 4 maps. I've already covered Verge, which was already on my channel. If you want to go check that out, then make sure to go into my channel, as well as there was the zombie map, Zetsubo no Shima, I believe the name was. If I got that wrong, I'm very sorry. Yeah, basically I'm breaking down the map, basically explaining what it is and whether it's good for ARs, SMGs. I'm basically breaking down the map for you guys and for your interest. So, this map is obviously Rift. It's a fiery military rail complex. You don't really notice the rails until you properly look for them. You notice the fire. As you can see, I'm running over a bunch of lava underneath me. I must say, this is my overall favourite map of all 4 of the maps. Honestly, I think this map is very open. I think it's very good because it basically includes all the guns that can be used. So you can use an AR very effectively, you can use an SMG effectively, perhaps an SMG you could use a sniper effectively. Unfortunately, I haven't played any of the competitive game modes on this. I've just played Team Deathmatch. I've played it 3 times and I've played 3 TDMs. Overall, I think this is probably like I said, is my favourite map. I don't know what is specifically. I think it's just because it incorporates all the stuff that you can use in Black Ops 3 to a good advantage. So if you want to use, like, say the KN-44, there's places where you can go for that. If you want to use the HVK, you can do that. If you want to use the Vesper, you can do that. And that basically brings me on to my next point of what's good for. Obviously, you can pretty much use anything. The only thing you probably couldn't use is a shotgun. I think the map's a little too open for that kind of thing. If you would like to use a shotgun, I'm sure if you put an Argus on long barrel and you got incredibly lucky with one-shot kills, I'm sure you could probably go through this little tunnel area. You could probably pick off some players here. Like I said, I haven't played any of the competitive game modes, so it's not evil. I'm not able to sort of judge whether it be a good uplink or CTF or a hardpoint map. But what I'm hearing, it seems that it would be a good hardpoint map and it would be a good uplink map. The thing with an uplink map is that it needs to be fairly open for you guys to be able to pick up the kills and be able to move the ball forward as a squad. But like particularly with Verge, it was a very closed map, it's very SMG orientated, and obviously what that basically does is it disables the good chance for an uplink, because of course it's always so closed. There's very difficult chances to kill the person who's on the ball because he's able to hide around corners all the time. If you're in an open map, it forces you to basically work as a team to move together. And that is what an uplink map really needs to be. Unfortunately, that's what this map is. I would guess the ball would spawn right in this middle area where you're seeing me spray down. In that sort of area, I'm going to guess it would spawn right there. Obviously, that would mean it would be a massive AR control fest. Obviously, you'd have your subs flanking from either this side or that rail side on the other side of the map. But overall, I think this would be a very good uplink map. For CTF, I don't think it would be very good, because then CTF is kind of the opposite. You need to have some fairly closed areas for you to get through it all. Unfortunately, this map is very open for that kind of thing. Obviously, there is routes that you could take that would protect you from corners, but overall, CTF wouldn't probably be the most effective game mode on Rift. Hardpoint, it depends on where the hardpoint is. Obviously, you'd have this big open area. There'd probably be a hardpoint right there. Obviously, that would be your Scrappy Hill. If you don't know what a Scrappy Hill is, basically, it's where there's going to be no overall control. It's just going to be basically your subs and your ARs just flooding the hill 24/7 to try and pick off as many players as you possibly can and basically gain control. Usually, a Scrappy Hill is your very first hill. Typically, it's right in the middle, and obviously, we're in this sort of area. It might be in this little room that I just died in, that little control room. It could be put in there, but I would have to go back and check out all the hard points. I'm sure most of you have already probably seen the hard point in Rift, and if it is very good, make sure to let me know in the comment section below. But regardless, with all this being a very good thing, of course, hardpoint and uplink mopping up CTF, that also brings us on to the S&D, where could you use an S&D game mode on Rift? I honestly don't think you could. I think you could scrape it, because of course there is a lot of long range sights, so you could perhaps bring out a sniper, you could perhaps bring down those mid area controls, you know, just with some dual crossing sniper duels, that sort of thing. Perhaps if you remember on Black Ops 2, I believe, I think it's called Raid, where there'd be a mid area and it would just be mid control just by 2 snipers on each side of the map, just spraying them down, and the first person that would get the kill typically would win the round because they'd have full mid control. And I think that's what this map would basically dictate, is there'd be 2 snipers just basically fighting for mid control, and whoever won that gunfight would dictate how the game would go, or at least that round. But as such, there's not really that many places to sort of hide away, and it would be difficult for me, because I mean, if you think of it, I mean, I'm thinking of this now, obviously, it's a fairly big map, regardless of SMGs being pretty effective on this map. It's a big map, it's a massive map, you probably could argue, and basically that kind of sort of denies the fact of S&D, because of course, if your map's too big, it might be too long for you to rotate, it'd be too long for you to actually sort of split up, and there's too many places to look, so perhaps the S&D wouldn't be the most effective game mode, but I could see it being used. But overall, I think this is probably one of the two maps that I think could be used for competitive Call of Duty if Treyarch do decide to use a competitive game mode playlist. I think Rift would probably come along with that. I'll get onto the second map. Obviously, I wouldn't think Verge would be a competitive map, but Rift certainly would be a good use of it there. But in terms of respawn game modes, this is a very good map. I love it. I've played it, like I said, I've only played it 3 times, and I absolutely love it. Obviously, I've played the other maps a lot. I've played, I think, Spire 5 times. I've played Knockout 7, I think it is. Verge, I've only played, I think it's around 5 or 6 times. Rift, I've played the least, and it's the one I love the most. I think perhaps if I started playing a lot, then perhaps my mind would change, but overall, it is my favourite map. One of the things I want to touch on though is wall running on this map. Wall running is very effective, as you can see, the sort of mid area, on the whole of mid, half of it's kind of disappeared, and you have to use that wall run. If you're very good with wall running, perhaps this would be a very good map for you, because of course there's a lot of outside the map wall runs, so you can perhaps use that to your advantage and basically flank your opponent nice and easy. But overall, this is a good overall map, and I think it would be a good competitive map. So if you guys have enjoyed this gameplay, if you did, make sure to press the like button, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Obviously, we still have another 2 maps to go, Spire and Knockout. Next episode is going to be Spire, and if you haven't checked out Verge and the Zombies map, then make sure to go to my channel. I haven't broken down the Zombies map, I've just sort of played it. But hey, if that's what you like, go ahead and check it out. My name is Mr. Killboard2, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.
Contract completed. Prompt payment is advised.